Can I tell you something real? The moment you stop pouring into everyone else and start investing your energy in you is when your life begins to shift. It's simple but powerful. When you focus on others too much, comparison sneaks in. Drama pulls you down. Energy gets wasted. You start reacting. You start drifting. You lose direction. But when your energy comes back home to you, when you stop bending for everyone else, you begin to build strength. You begin to define your identity. You begin to move from purpose, not from reaction. That shift isn't small. That shift changes everything. Because here's truth. Your attention is your most valuable resource. Where it goes, growth multiplies. Where it doesn't, drama takes root. So when you invest in yourself, your mindset, your habits, your vision, you build power no one can take away. You ever feel like no matter how much you give, your life stays the same? Like you're exhausted by midday, drained by evening, and left wondering if it even matters? That's because you're giving your energy to everything but you. And when you give your all to others, the world takes and keeps asking for more. You were never meant to be everyone's superhero. You were meant to be your own. You were meant to build a life that honors your calling, not a script designed by everyone else. So today, I want you to pause. Feel that weight in your chest, asking, what's next? Or maybe quiet sadness sneaks in because you've been people-pleasing, scrolling, comparing, giving. So much, so little growth. So many opinions, so little permission to actually build your life. Listen, this isn't about selfishness. It's about survival. It's about thriving. Because when you ignore your own growth, your life silently shrinks. Your hope dims. Your peace erodes. You get buried under the weight of everyone else's needs. Each day gets quieter, tighter, smaller. But when your focus comes back to you, that's when joy returns, clarity returns, energy returns. You wake up with intention, not just survival. You get clear on your vision, your boundaries, your identity. That's powerful stuff. Imagine waking up and choosing, today, I build my future. No more autopilot. No more scrolling for validation. No more being triggered by drama that has nothing to do with your path. Instead, you invest in yourself, your purpose, your healing, your growth. And then something magical happens. You walk into the world, and even in silence, your energy speaks. People feel it. Doors shift. Opportunities align. It's not magic. It's consistency and clarity and self-respect. You move from not caring what people think, not because you don't feel, but because you're focused on your own healing and building, not theirs. You take control over how you feel. You reorder your priorities. You stop being reactive. You start being deliberate. So whatever's haunting you, feel it, but don't feed it. Let it fuel you. Don't broadcast your pain or your hustle. Just show up for yourself, your highest self, your potential self, the version of you that refuses to fade into other people's noise. This is your turning point, right here, right now. You don't need approval. You don't need applause. You don't need permission. You just need permission from yourself to focus on healing, to focus on learning, to focus on leveling up. And every choice you make echoes. Your habits become habits. Your rest aligns with renewal. Your work aligns with vision. Your peace becomes non-negotiable. Look, I'm not promising it's easy. It's not. Focus is lonely sometimes. Growth is lonely sometimes. Boundaries are met with resistance. But that loneliness, that's refinement. That's devotion to your progress. That's how winners build inside silence and still show up for their greatness, day after day. This is how you break the addiction to external validation. This is how you slow down long enough to hear your own voice again. This is how you reclaim your peace, your energy, your time, your destiny. So right now, stop scrolling. Stop reacting. Take a deep breath. Place your hand where your grit is and say to yourself, I'm taking this moment to invest in me. I'm withdrawing my energy from anything that doesn't serve my growth. I'm focused. I'm rebuilding. I'm becoming who I was born to be. Because when you focus on you, everything changes. Imagine waking up rich in energy, clarity, confidence. Imagine having a bank account that never holds debt. Your emotional account is full. That's what it's like when you treat your energy like currency. Because that, more than money, than approval, than tasks, is what determines how alive you feel, how aligned you act, and who you become. The truth is, energy is your most valuable resource. It's more powerful than likes, stronger than ambition, quieter than noise. If you waste it on distractions, drama, or pleasing people who don't care, you bankrupt yourself. But if you invest it wisely on your growth, your healing, your vision, everything changes. You stop draining. You start building. Every day you wake up, you receive the same amount of currency, your energy, but you decide how to spend it. Scroll, that's debt. Complaining about someone else's life, that's overdraft. Getting sucked into arguments or gossip, that's foreclosure territory. But when you choose to rest, to reflect, to move with intention, to do hard work, thoughtful work, soul work, that's deposit, compounding with interest. Look around. We live in a world addicted to external drama. A text pings, a comment splits your vibe. People's moods infect yours. News blasts your nervous system. You carry fatigue that's not even yours. Emotional hangovers become normal. Zoom fatigue, news fatigue, filter fatigue, gossip fatigue. Burnout becomes the badge of the hard worker. But here's the unspoken secret. None of that builds you. It just breaks you. And rebuilding from burnout is painful. Rebuilding from distraction is wasted time. But if instead you guard your energy, if you wake up and choose regeneration before your phone, if you design your day with peace at the center, you don't crash, you don't conform, you don't collapse, you thrive. What does that look like day to day? First, boundaries. Not harsh, not hateful, but clear. I don't give my energy to conversations that tear me down. I don't scroll past 8:30 a.m. until I've moved my body. I don't gossip with people who sabotage their own soul. Boundaries aren't walls. They're insurance that protects your time, your mind, your momentum. Second, intention over reaction. When life throws its noise, you don't swallow it. You pause, breathe, choose. Maybe that means stepping away from your phone. Maybe that means journaling instead of reacting. Maybe that means going deep in silence for a minute before responding. That's how you stay sovereign. That's how you hold your currency. You don't invest instinctively. You invest consciously. Third, prioritize what recharges you. That looks different for everyone. Movement, music, creativity, breathing, early schedule, stretching, prayer, clarity walks. It's not indulgence, it's upkeep. Like charging your phone each night. You're not more useful unfed. You're fragile. But when you recharge, you operate at your next level. Fourth, invest in learning. Energy doesn't just get spent, it grows. When you read, study, inspire, teach, serve, money may not come immediately, but wisdom compounds. Your confidence, your creativity, your capacity grows. That gives ROI far greater than a quick dopamine hit on social media. Fifth, choose your input. What you let into your head shapes your output. If you binge news, hateful rhetoric, negative comments, even rundown drama, that's negative interest piling up. Your mind becomes noisy, your body fatigued. But if you input things that elevate, stories of resilience, lessons from teachers, psychology, philosophy, creation, you become energized, clear, aligned, powerful. Let's get real. We all have energies we squander. We say yes when we're tired. We stay in toxic spaces too long. We gossip. We play small. We chase short dopamine when long-term growth needs consistency. And what does that get us? A blurred, twitchy, burnt-out version of ourselves. But when you flip the script and treat your energy like gold, pristine, precious, non-renewable, unless you take care, your confidence becomes calm. Your pace becomes sustainable. Your value becomes undeniable. Problems, they still come. Stress, yes. Loss, sure. But your reserves cushion the blows. Your clarity remains. Your purpose persists. You move from overwhelm to flow. Now let's talk about who deserves your energy. A lot fewer people than you think. Yes, they're nice. Yes, they've been around. But if they don't lift, don't challenge, don't fuel your forward growth, you're only giving away your capital. Think of your energy like investment back into yourself and a few people who vibrate higher. Those are your partnerships, your collaborations, your people who raise your frequency. This investment mindset applies to where you work, what you read, what you listen to, who you chat with. If any of it drains you consistently, ask, is that building me or breaking me? If you're building, keep it. If you're breaking, adjust. You are not being harsh. You are owning your life. In practice, say no when your gut says no. Say yes when it says yes. Don't fill your day with other people's demands. Make your morning energy sacred. Make your evening release intentional. Count your inputs daily. Scroll time, interaction time, mission time. Balance them. Spend your day with intention, not autopilot. Then watch how you end it. Stronger, calmer, fulfilled. People treat spiritual leaders, artists, entrepreneurs like mythical beings. But behind every strong spirit is someone who learned how to protect their energy. They didn't get there by ignoring their humanity. They got there by honoring it, by choosing rest as much as work, silence as much as sound, clarity as much as conversation. So if you're tired of feeling scattered, of feeling unseen, of staying stuck in loops of exhaustion, it's not your ambition failing. It's your energy leaking. You're investing everywhere but in yourself. Right now, decide. I protect my energy. I invest in my growth. I speak my yes and no with clarity. I recharge regularly. I work, I learn, I rest, I create from fullness, not fear. That's not selfish. That's sovereignty. That's building peace inside the chaos. That's landing power in a world full of noise. That's how you stay consistent. That's how you build depth. That's how you become someone who can live loud without burning out. Because once you treat your energy like currency, nothing and no one can bankrupt you. You're not them, and you're not supposed to be. That right there is the most freeing, powerful truth you can carry into your day. But most of us forget it the second we open our phones. Because the second you start scrolling, your brain starts spiraling. You see someone your age with more money. You see someone in better shape. You see someone traveling, laughing, living, and suddenly your life doesn't feel good enough anymore. You start to feel small, behind, invisible. But hear this loud. Comparison is the thief of joy, but it's also the thief of focus. It robs you of energy. It distracts you from your own gifts. It makes you chase what you're not instead of owning what you are. And if you want to build something real, something powerful, you've got to stop playing that game. Because it's rigged. You never see the full story. You don't see the nights they cried. You don't see the anxiety they battle. You don't see the things they wish they could change. You're comparing your behind the scenes to someone else's highlight reel. And that's not fair to you. Let's get real. Social media isn't real life. It's a curated feed, not someone's soul. And even in real life, people show what they want you to see. That friend who always seems so confident might be crumbling inside. That person who looks like they have it all together might be one breath away from giving up. You never really know. So stop thinking you're losing just because someone else is winning. Your timeline is yours. Your path is yours. Your pace is perfect for you. You're not behind. You're becoming. Let them run their race. You run yours. Think about it this way. If you spend all your energy watching someone else's lane, you trip in your own. That's what comparison does. It distracts you from your power. It pulls your focus away from your growth. It makes you chase a version of success that might not even be meant for you. You want real success? Then start defining it on your terms. Maybe success for you is peace of mind. Maybe it's building something that lasts. Maybe it's healing. Maybe it's being a better parent, showing up for yourself, breaking a generational curse. That might not look like luxury or perfection or constant wins, but it's progress. It's real. It's powerful. But you can't step into that version of success if your eyes are always on someone else's progress. You can't rise while you're busy resenting. You can't grow while you're obsessing over where someone else is. It's not your job to be better than anyone else. It's your job to be better than you were yesterday. That's it. Wake up and ask, am I showing up for myself today? Am I doing one thing that gets me closer to where I want to be? Am I proud of how I'm carrying myself? Even if nobody's watching, that's the win. Because here's the real truth. Every time you choose to focus on your own lane, you take your power back. Every time you remind yourself, I'm doing the best I can with what I've got, you stop that inner critic from running your life. Comparison is loud, but your inner peace can be louder. Start making room for it. Unfollow accounts that make you feel less than. Take breaks from scrolling. Journal about your wins, your lessons, your growth. Look at how far you've come instead of how far someone else is. Practice gratitude for your unique path. Celebrate your pace. Remind yourself of the things you've survived and the strength you've built in silence. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. Not on the internet. Not in real life. You don't need their timeline. You don't need their body. You don't need their relationship or their paycheck or their lifestyle. You need you focused, aligned, rooted in self-respect. You'll go further when you stop trying to be someone else and start becoming more of yourself. Let the world chase clout. You chase clarity. Let others perform. You grow quietly. Let them post. You build. The less you compare, the more you create. The more you trust your process, the more progress you'll actually make. And trust me, one day the same people you were tempted to compare yourself to will ask how you did it, and you'll smile, knowing that you stopped watching and started working. You want to level up? Then put the phone down, tune the noise out, look in the mirror and say, I'm not behind, I'm aligned. I'm not less than, I'm just different. I'm not focused on them, I'm focused on becoming the strongest version of me. Your story matters. Your work matters. Your life matters. But it won't mean much if you spend all of it wishing it looked like someone else's. So this is your moment to reclaim your power. No more comparing. No more shrinking. No more doubting your worth based on what somebody else is doing. From this day forward, you run your race. And you run it with your head held high. Because nobody else gets to be you. And that, my friend, is your superpower. Not everything needs to be announced. Not every wound needs to be posted, and not every move needs to be shared. There's power in silence. There's freedom in privacy. And there's strength in doing the hard things quietly, consistently, without needing applause. That's how real growth happens. That's how healing begins. Not in the noise, not in the spotlight, but in the quiet places no one else sees. Healing is not a performance. It's personal, and most of the time it's messy. But the truth is, when you try to heal in public, you invite opinions. You open the door for judgments, distractions, people who don't understand your journey, giving you advice they've never lived. And that noise, it can slow you down. It can throw you off. When you heal in private, you protect your peace. You give yourself space to feel, to process, to fall apart and come back stronger, without feeling like you need to explain anything to anyone. You give yourself the time to rebuild the broken pieces in a way that's real, that lasts, and you stop trying to prove to the world that you're okay when you're not. You don't owe anyone your struggle. You don't need to justify your process. You don't need to share every tear, every setback, every breakthrough. Sometimes the strongest thing you can do is keep your head down and keep moving, while the world wonders how you're still standing. That's not hiding. That's healing. That's honoring yourself. Because here's the truth. Growth doesn't always look like progress. Sometimes it looks like being still, like walking away, like letting go of things you once begged to stay. Sometimes growth means saying nothing and watching how everything changes. Quietly, powerfully. You want to level up? Then grow in silence. Do the work in the dark. Build your habits when nobody's watching. Get disciplined, get focused, get locked in. That's how legends are made. Not in the spotlight, but in the shadows, in the routines, in the sacrifice no one claps for. Because when you grow in silence, you don't waste energy explaining yourself. You don't seek validation. You build it from within. You don't care who sees the grind, because you know the results will speak for themselves. There's a calm that comes with that kind of focus. A deep, grounded confidence that can't be shaken, because it wasn't built on attention. It was built on work, on healing, On time spent alone becoming the version of yourself you always knew you could be. And listen, healing is not linear. Some days you'll feel strong. Some days you'll feel like you're back at zero. That's okay. That's part of it. The goal isn't to never break. The goal is to come back wiser, tougher, more intentional. That takes time. That takes space. That takes silence. Let the world keep spinning. Let them keep talking. Let them guess what you're doing. You're not disappearing. You're evolving. You're not lost. You're learning. You're not stuck. You're shedding. And one day, when you do step back out, they'll see a version of you they've never met before. Stronger, softer, smarter, more focused, more grounded, more at peace. Not because you needed to prove anything, but because you chose yourself when no one was watching. So if you're in a season of healing, honor it. If you're walking through something painful, let yourself feel it. Let yourself rest. Let yourself cry. Let yourself heal. Not for Instagram, not for approval, but for your future self who deserves a healed version of you. That takes bravery. That takes silence. And that takes trust. Trust that your work is working, even when nobody sees it. Trust that your peace is worth more than being understood. Trust that every chapter of solitude is building something within you that no crowd ever could. So go quiet if you need to. Pull back if you have to. Delete the apps. Say no. Turn your phone off. Meditate. Journal. Pray. Sleep. Hydrate. Heal. Do the boring work. Do the ugly work. Do the soul work. Not for views. Not for applause. Not for praise. But for you. Because the most powerful transformation is the one that doesn't need an audience. It's the one where you wake up and realize, I didn't give up. I grew up. In silence. In private. In peace. That's the real flex. That's the real win. And when you do rise, because you will, you'll rise steady, unshakable, rooted, clear, because your growth wasn't rushed. It wasn't forced. It was earned. So give yourself that gift. Heal in private. Grow in silence. And when the world asks where you've been, you'll just smile and say, I was becoming. This isn't selfish. It's necessary. You can't pour from an empty cup. You can't lead when you're lost. You can't love right when you don't love yourself right. So start making time for the things that fuel you. Start saying no to anything that drains you. Get up early. Move your body. Protect your mind. Speak kindly to yourself. Your future self is watching everything you do right now. So give them something to be proud of. You've been putting everyone else first. You've been watching from the sidelines. You've been quieting your own voice to fit in. But now, it's your turn. Your turn to choose you. To build in peace. To move with purpose. To finally put all that love, all that effort, all that energy into becoming the person you were meant to be. Stop waiting for permission. Stop asking for approval. You don't need a crowd to validate your calling. Focus on you. Heal. Grow. Level up. And when they ask what changed, just smile and say, I stopped giving them everything and started giving it to myself.